involving the memories, you have the recall and the store.
Right.
Obvious functions there. You have a bank button. Very important, because the 100 memories you have per ME is in banks of 10.
Yep.
So
That's familiar with the last Ross we had.
Yep, same thing. When you're building a macro, it's important that you put it in the right bank and recall the right memories when you're doing those, just in case it's in a different bank when you run the macro. These three buttons down the side, program, memory AI, and effects dissolve, are actually overrides for things you could have embedded in a memory. So when I build a memory, I can go into the settings and say, I want you to always be in effects dissolve. If I want to override that, I can hit program, and then when I recall that memory, it's just going to cut it on the air. All right?
Okay.
Were you in here when I was showing what effects dissolve can do?
I believe so.
Where it interpolates between
Yes.
what's on the screen and goes to the memory gradually rather than instantly.
Yes.
So that's one way to do it. Some people will just build all their memories as instant recalls, and if they want it to do an effects dissolve, they'll turn it on as they recall it. That means that you got to remember to do that. So relying, at least in my history, relying on my memory to remember to do little things like that is not good. So I try to build as much things in, let the switcher do as much of the work as possible. Were you in here when I was describing why we don't want to use memory AI? Because it can reassign all your keys without telling you? Okay. So that's one thing. If I have a memory, let's see, there's a beautiful stacked two-box effect.
Look at that beautiful background.
Who did that?
That background was created in the switcher.
That looks like iris.
If I recall that memory, let me just move those boxes around.
Yellow borders.
So if I turn on effects dissolve and recall that memory again, it just slides it over. So you were kind of following that.
Yeah.
So on recall, the instant I hit the button, it does the recall. On storing, if I store a new effect, I have to hit the enter key to confirm.
Correct.
Just that extra step they want to put in there, which is good because there is no warning in memories that you're getting ready to erase somebody's memory.
Right.
Good record keeping becomes a factor at that point. That's another argument for also having your own show loaded.
Right.
And keeping it in the switcher. Some people want to just leave the switcher set up exactly the same way for every show. That's just like a management decision. You just got to decide what's best for you. Buttons down this side, effects rate, ME rate, and key rate. Key rate is a cycle. It cycles through the 4 keys, and it's how fast this dissolve works.
Okay.
So if I want key 1 to always dissolve in at 15 frames, right now it's set for 8, which for graphics is pretty good. But say I want it to take 20 frames, 20, enter. So now just this keyer, well, there's nothing in it, but just this keyer will take 20 frames to dissolve. All right, key 1, see it changing? 3, 4, back to 1. ME rate is this transition rate, right? The transition for the whole effects bank.
Okay.
By default, I like to keep that at 15. If I want to change it, ME rate, 60. Now I get a nice slow. Let me put up a source of some kind. Where is another source?
Should be a rider 2 or 3.
It was Sesame Street for a second.
Tria A. Tria ABC.
Whatever. That works. 60 frame dissolve. To put it back, I can hit ME rate and dial in the number, or I can hit dissolve and my shortcuts pop up on the soft keys.
Right. It's right up here.
So the any of the transitions except media wipe, so dissolve, wipe, or DVE, when I press any of those, the menu system tries to follow me around.
Okay.
Right? And actually, pretty much any button on the switcher that has a menu attached to it, the menu will jump to that. It will automatically jump to that menu when I press that button. You know, so when I press wipe, there's all my different wipe patterns. When I press DVE, there's all the different DVE wipes. So, and on the DVE wipes, there's 2 per button. If you want the bottom one, you double press it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
You can see the, and because there's so many, instead of a pattern, they just wrote the names of the wipes.
So just trying that right now.
Double press that button
Oh, double press that
to
button.
get the wipe. Yeah.
All right, so let's try push right.
Okay, so it pushes to the right. And if you press it once, you get to push left. Goes that way.
Gotcha. Nice.
With dissolve, there's not really very many options, so it gives you shortcuts to change the speed.
Right.
And all 3 of those, I can always change the speed here, from 0, which is a cut, to 999 frames, which is like go get a coffee and come back.
Right. Yeah, that half ghosted image for a long time.
Yeah. If that accidentally happens, there's
He said grab the fader bar.
fade bar, and at the point where it catches up with the wipe, it takes control.
Yeah.
It's a pretty straightforward deck. Right. Cure